All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is Thursday, December 11th. We got a 4-game NBA slate to dive into in today's video. Like we always do, I'm going to dive into each and every one of these games. I'll give you my prediction on the side. I'll give you my prediction on the total. We'll talk about any other plays like player props that we like within the game as well. But as always, guys, make sure to keep an eye down on the pinned comment of this video. That's where you'll find all of my final plays, so I'm actually rolling with myself. If that does interest you, it's absolutely free down in the pinned comment. In terms of how we made out yesterday, a 1-1 day, so the win streak comes to an end. Devin Vassell played 30 minutes and shot the ball 10 times. If you gave me that scenario, I probably would have been okay with that 14.5 points for plus money, but he does not come through. He finishes at 8, and the Spurs team total crushed. We've been on a scorched earth pattern with these team totals. Maybe we keep that up today, but over 113.5, they scored 130 plus, so I think it was a good look there. Like I said, 1-1 night, nothing to brag about, obviously losing a little bit up the top, but nothing to cry about either. In terms of the ride of the day, we're not doing any crying here. Man, oh man, pumping some crowd noise, drop the cha-ching, fly, zero skater. Yesterday I called you the rebounds and assist savant. The way you've been running these bad boys, we might have to call you the rebounds and assist king. LeBron James over 12.5 rebounds plus assists. He finished with 15 rebounds and 8 assists. Pumping some more crowd noise. Damn, let's go. What a W there for the ride of the day. If you guys don't know what the ride of the day is, it is simple. Just use that hashtag ride of the day down in the comments. I jump on board with at least one person's play each and every day and give you a shout out in the next video, win or loss. We track it here on the Ride of the Day tracker. You can see Fly Zero Skaters 3-day win streak right in front of us. If you do win, like Fly Zero Skater, we continue to roll and ride with your plays until the wheels fall off. You keep getting the shout outs. You build a little bit of a reputation, like maybe the rebounds and assist king. But if you do lose, I mean, you still get the shout out the next day, but unfortunately we're talking about a loss, and I don't think anyone wants that, right? So go ahead and drop your hashtag Ride of the Days down in the comments. Shout out to Fly Zero Skater, man. Absolutely crushing these R plus A stats in line. So let's see what he throws our way today. But guys, let's go ahead and dive into this slate. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Appreciate you being here. Let's get going. Game number 1. Though this game between the Pelicans and the Blazers is honestly the smallest spread we have on the board, it may be the least, at least my opinion, like the least fun game to look at or break down or even watch tonight. So Pelicans 4-point dogs at home, total at 240.5. We look at these two teams and obviously nothing too much to write home about, right? You have the Blazers 9-15 this year overall, Pelicans 3-22. They may be getting Jordan Poole back, which you might be like, whoa, big deal, they're getting Jordan Poole back. It is someone to, aid in some scoring production potentially or anything like that. He hasn't even been questionable since early November when he went out. So yeah, he is questionable right now. Maybe he does play. On the injury side of things for the Trailblazers, tons of injuries. I mean, tons of questionables, but also a bunch of guys out. Drew Holiday still out. Donovan Clingan is out. Robert Williams questionable, and then Hansen questionable as well. So again, this is like the injury bowl. Neither team is that great to begin with. Where do we look at in terms of trying to pick a side? Well, I think Portland will be able to run in transition in this game. They love to do that, right? In terms of transition frequency, they're 5th in the entire league. They're running at a 5th highest pace as well. The Pelicans will run, but they stink at defending transition. In transition, 3rd worst effective field goal percentage again. So I think that that's the advantage for the Trailblazers to put up some points. But on the New Orleans side of things, like I can't really sit here and tell you that I think that this is a Portland team that plays very good defense the way that the Pelicans like to score. The Pelicans, number 1 team over the last 10 games at a field goal attempts in the restricted area, and we have here, top 10 in the paint. So this is a Pelicans team that likes to score in the paint. Not exactly the best defensive spot for the Trailblazers. I say screw it. Give me the Pelicans in this spot +4. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but 240 is a little high. I lean slightly towards the under, even though I do see paths for both of these teams to score. But to me, like, they're neither one of the offenses are that efficient. Boom. We nailed it. Got our English degree there. So give me the Pelicans as well as the under. I just don't think that this is a great game for either squad. It's going to be sloppy. I would say the under falls way below on my radar than even like the Pelicans. And the Pelicans isn't that high to begin with, right? Anything can happen in this game. It is a volatile one. In terms of a player prop, we've played around with a couple things here. One that I would look at, and Jordan Poole coming back could drastically impact this dude's minutes. But Jose Alvarado over 12.5 points plus assists. Ball handler should work pretty well. I just said that this game may run in a little bit of transition, right? Could look pretty damn good. So he kind of fits the mold, but we'd really be looking for, minutes from him. And when he doesn't play minutes, which is not a shocker, he doesn't hit this line. So his line right now at 12.5. He just, with Jordan Poole, he's only hit once this season. So I think that is worth noting. But even still, like his line at 12.5 is very, very dependent on his minutes. If we just look at him on the season, okay, when he plays, and I don't mean to take too much time for Jose Alvarado here, but when he plays at least 25 minutes, he's hit this over in 86% of games. When he's played, 24 or less minutes, 29% of games. Big deal there, right? So yeah, keep an eye on the final plays. Like I said, this isn't my favorite game. There are some spots and some soft spots we may be able to exploit, but we'll see. We got double the games we had yesterday. Choose from. We don't need to force anything. Next up, we have Milwaukee taking on the Celtics. I want to start with a total in this one. It's sitting at 244 and 224.5, which may seem like a very low number, but I don't think this is going to be that high scoring of a game, in all honesty. I don't mind the under 224 here. I've already seen this bump down to 223 in some places, but realistically, we do have a good defense on our hands on the Celtics side of things, and neither one of these teams likes to run, right? Now, from an injury perspective, Giannis still out here as he heals up. Gets ready for a trade. Heals up. You also have, AJ Green now questionable in this spot. Not that he's going to give you a bunch of scoring, but definitely a dynamic shooter for that squad. On the Celtics side of things, no major injuries. You have Chris Boucher is out of this one. But to me, I think that this is going to be a very heavy half-court game, okay? And Milwaukee, yes, they do struggle from three. If the Celtics get hot, they can torch any over-under, depending on which side you're looking at, right? But to me, the defense does step up in this spot. And yeah, the Celtics don't really shoot in the paint, but Milwaukee's decent enough at defending the paint. So the Celtics will have to hit their threes today if they do want to, go way over this. But even if they go over, couldn't we look at the Bucks and be like, man, I don't really see the Bucks having the easiest time scoring on this Celtics squad. They're the number 2 paint defense. They've been playing better on the perimeter so far. So yeah, to me, with the 29th and 24th pace team in the league, I think that we have a decent enough look for an under here. Both these teams to this line this year too, just to be fully transparent. Celtics went on the road 50-50 to this line. Bucks went at home. They've hit the over in 64%. So maybe it is worthy of a psycho alert alarm to look at such a low number, but I do think that this one could get a little sloppy, a little ugly overall. You know what I mean? Throw in the fact that, last 2 times that these two teams played, dating back to last year, was 113 to 107, 105 to 111. 2 really, really low scoring games. From a side perspective, I really don't want to touch Milwaukee without Giannis, right? They've lost 8 of their last 10 games, not playing the best basketball, and the Celtics are a little bit, scorched earth right now themselves. They've won 5 straight games. They've won 8 of their last 10. You can make the argument they haven't played the hardest of competitions, but 2 of the better teams they've played within that last 10, they took dubs against, right? Cleveland and New York, the other game, and Orlando. Other games have been Brooklyn. Detroit, actually, they won 2, good win. Washington, Lakers banged up. Toronto, Minnesota. I guess they have a mixed bag of recent results. The Celtics are playing good basketball. They should be able to score in the isolation here against this Bucks team as well. Celtics, you think of guys like Peyton Pritchard or Jaylen Brown, obviously, and also from the pick and roll ball handler. Both those guys kind of fall into that category as well. So I do think the Celtics can kind of stretch this thing out as the game goes on. But yeah, weirdly enough, I like the under more than anything. From a player prop perspective, I would lean into what I just talked about, right? Peyton Pritchard, Jaylen Brown, maybe Pritchard points plus assists could be something to consider here in this spot. All right, guys, before we move on to the next 2 games here, I do want to talk to you guys about DirecTV. Now, when I talk about DirecTV, I get in the comments all the time, right? Oh man, the contract, the satellite, the commitment, all that. No. This is a new world, a new age, a new dawn of DirecTV. It is DirecTV streaming, guys. You can get all the channels you like, $84.99 per month for 2 years. What a good deal. And like I said, no satellites, no contracts, none of that hoopla, all right? All you do is you get a little box that plugs into your TV, and you are good to go. Works off of Wi-Fi. You can also use your account on up to 3 concurrent devices when on the go in home Wi-Fi, as many devices as you want. Really, really cool. They are a leader in the sports world as well, with over 50 sports channels, including all the ESPN channels, and I think it's like 30 something regional broadcasts as well. You can hook up NBA League Pass, you can hook up Red Zone as well. Check it out, guys. That link will be down below in the description as well as the pinned comment. Make sure to use the code GuyBoston if asked. Also, sign up right here with that QR code. It should apply everything. Go check it out, guys. Signed up myself, and honestly was kind of game-changing. I thought it would be a little bit more difficult, and boom, you're good to go. I've been watching games on planes when I travel, because if you have the DirecTV app, you can sign in and watch games even out of the house. Really, really cool stuff. Go check it out. Again, that link will be down below in the description, as well as the pinned comment. We've got 2 more games to dive into here. All right, next up, we got the Rockets taking on the Clippers. Another low total game. I would say it does make sense, though, right? You have the Rockets, who are arguably one of, if not the best defense in the league in terms of dynamic defense, multiple guys being able to cover multiple positions, that type of thing, right? So 222.5 looks low, but realistically, I don't see a way that the Clippers put up a huge number. I also don't see where the Rockets come into play and put up a massive number. Now, are the Clippers all that great defensively? No, but where they are better defensively is in the paint, and that's where the Rockets like to score. So yet again, I'm looking at an under here at 222.5. Some of these numbers are just so low that yes, I lean that direction. I can't really conceptualize an over, but do we have the cojones to drop it on the table and take an under in a game that has James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, Zubac, Kevin Durant, Şengün, Amen Thompson, like a lot of names in this game that could go off here. So I will lean under. It's a slight lean though. Before we get to the spread, I want to talk about a player prop that I do like here, and it's James Harden under 24.5 points. Just don't get to 25 today, buddy, right? By the way, guys, I know I told you yesterday or the day before, I'm kind of under the weather here, so if you hear me clear my throat or cough, I'm trying to keep it to a minimum and cutting it out when we do, but sometimes it's unavoidable, right? But anyways, James Harden here, when facing teams that are, very good against the isolation, which that is his number 1 scoring play type, and the Rockets are a top, 10-ish team in terms of defending that, I do like him going under this line. He's gone under in 5 of his last, 5 of 9 games against teams that are, good against the isolation, bottom, top 12 in the league. But 4 of his last 5 games there. And what I really like here is the idea that, Kawhi Leonard is back too, right? So all of a sudden, if James Harden's not having this great scoring game, especially in the isolation, he can say, hey, let me hand this thing off to Kawhi Leonard. With Kawhi this year, just top half isolation defenses, he really has been struggling, averaging 23 points, which is obviously just a couple points low of the line, but against where this Rockets team ranks, in the top 13, he's hit the under in 4 of his last 6 with Kawhi this season. So I do like this spot here. I think James Harden has a decent enough game, maybe from an assist perspective or something like that, but from a points perspective, I like him to get locked up. Maybe he gets the Amen Thompson treatment here today. Now, I said we'll save the spread for last. I like the Clippers to be able to at least keep this close, not win the game, maybe lose by like 6 points. I'm really not trying to brag for the Clippers here, but I think their defense is starting to get better, and obviously you implement someone like Kawhi Leonard, who's now been back for a little while, your defense is going to get better with someone like that, right? And I think the paint defense may hold up against this Rockets squad. And the Rockets, they like to score in the paint, like I've already mentioned, which is obviously going to be really, really big, because when they go up against, so if we're just looking at it from a,
Rockets winning perspective, okay? Not necessarily covering that 9.5. We'll get to it in a second. But when they go up against a team that is, top, let's be generous here and say that the Clippers are a top, 10 team in the league, right? They win a lot of games, but all of a sudden you go in and throw, okay, well, do they win by double digits? And it gets a little bit worse, more like a 50-50 spot, right? So I think the Clippers defense does kind of show up here. I'm going to lean towards them. I would probably say James Harden is my favorite look in this game, though. So out of all the things we talked about there, what has the best chance of being a final play may actually be James Harden under 24.5. That's over on Novig right now. If you have it at 23.5, I don't mind that either, right? It's just a matter of getting the better line, which looks like it's minimally available over on Novig right now. Kings taking on the Nuggets. This is our fourth game tonight. A lot of injuries on the Kings side of things. No Zach LaVine, and yeah, Domantas Sabonis is still out. I believe Dennis Schroeder is questionable in this one, but downgraded to doubtful in the last like hour or so. I'm recording this pretty early, so I don't know if he's going to impact this game that much, but they may have Dennis Schroeder coming into this one. So it looks like the starting lineup is going to be Russ, Malik Monk, DeMar DeRozan, Keegan Murray, and Maxey Reynaud. And then on the other side of things, Denver, Aaron Gordon still out, but realistically, their healthy starting lineup, less him. He's been out for a little while now. Murray, Johnson, Jones, Peyton Watson, and Jokic. Where do we go in this one, right? Because we just saw this matchup, a couple weeks ago? And the Kings, as 11-point dogs, beat Denver in Denver outright, 128-123. The thing is, in that one, Zach LaVine did play, no Sabonis, but Zach LaVine didn't even play well. 6 of 14, 1 of 6. I think he only had shot the ball from the foul line twice. He had 15 points. So it's like, oh yeah, they're losing him in this game, but like, he didn't even play that well last time out. They had a very kind of even game, right? Malik Monk had 12. Russell Westbrook had a double-double against his old squad. Keegan Murray had 19. DeMar DeRozan was 17. Jokic had 44 points. Jokic played well. Jamal Murray had 23 points and 9 assists. Like, the Nuggets played really good basketball and lost to this Kings team. Part of me wants to sit here and say, yeah, I think the Nuggets win this game, but maybe by like 8, maybe by 9, maybe by 10. But I don't know if they win the game by 11, and maybe we're seeing the board a little wonky today. Comment wonky if you made it this far in the video, because we've liked some underdogs, we've liked some unders. Things are just a little weird today, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, the Kings plus 10 is the side that I'd look at. It is not even close to being the number one thing that I would look at in this game, though. I will tell you that right now. I have a player prop that I really do like. We'll talk about the total before we get to that. I don't think this game stays close if the Kings don't play defense. And that really hasn't been their, forte, but they've actually been okay on the perimeter, which if they can stop Denver from putting up, threes on possessions and stuff like that, maybe this game does get a little bit sluggish and we look at like a game that finishes in the high 230s, but not into the 240. So I'm going to lean slightly towards the under here as well. Again, this kind of relates to if I think the Kings are going to keep it. When I say close, I mean just within single digits. They could be getting beat by 9 the entire game, and it wouldn't really shock me, right? But if they keep it to that, I don't know if Denver has that, like, pull-away speed in terms of, them scoring a bunch of points, because I do think that the Kings and Denver both will say, hey, let's play half-court basketball, right? We don't need to run in transition. You have 2 bottom 10 pace teams. In terms of transition frequency, bottom 10 teams as well. So, yeah, I don't mind the idea of the under here in this spot. Now, a couple player props. I would say Jokic could be primed for another good game. This is one of the worst post-up defenses in the entire league that we're seeing here on the King side of things. So, sure, I mean, you look at Jokic, it's like, oh, that guy obviously likes to post up. He should have a decent enough time posting up today, like he did when he scored 44 against them, a couple weeks back. So that wouldn't shock me if Jokic has a decent enough game in terms of his points line. But one spot that I think I'm gonna take a peek at, perhaps a little bit deeper, and say that it has a really good chance of being a final play, would be Malik Monk. I mean, he's gonna get extra run. No Zach LaVine, maybe no Schroeder as well. And when Malik Monk plays at least 25 minutes, which I wouldn't even be shocked if he plays more than 25 today. When he plays 25 minutes, the dude goes over his points line, and right now it's at 14.5. I really don't mind the look there for Malik Monk. So that's probably, I kind of hinted at it, my favorite play in this game is a player prop. It's probably Malik Monk overall going out there and getting 15. We just need to get the field goal attempts from him, right? Like, obviously he's going to have the ball a lot. We need to see him shoot, which I do assume if he's going to play 25 minutes, we'll probably be able to get, 25 minutes. Actually, let's plug that in. 25 minutes, right? And then how many do we project just in our model here, field goal attempts from him? 7. I would even think more. I would even think a little bit more. So if he gets 7, 8, 9, 10 field goal attempts, we probably cruise to 15 points the way that he likes to score, right? He can handle the pick and roll out of the ball handler position. He can also go in there and hit the spot ups when needed. But what I like is that he can pull up and hit the mid ranges, which the mid range has actually been where this Denver team has kind of struggled. It made me want to look at DeMar DeRozan, right? But DeMar DeRozan's lined at 21.5, and all the focus is probably going to be on him in terms of, who to focus on with no Zach LaVine. So I think Malik Monk kind of sneaks in there. If you like Russell Westbrook, His line's at what, 17.5, 18.5? That's a little high for my liking. I'm liking Russ when his line's at, 13.5 to 15.5. 17.5 is asking a little much. I guess PRA line's like 35.5, something like that. So he's kind of out of my depths. But guys, that is going to wrap it up for today's show. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. I do apologize if the energy or like I don't feel well, okay? Excuse me. Nope, no, didn't mean to do that there, but it proves that I don't feel well, right? I do apologize if the show felt a little bit different or something like that. In my brain it is, but I'm just foggy right now. So yeah, we'll try and get healthy and get better for you guys and put on a better show. But really do appreciate you tuning in. Catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.